October 5, 2022. We're coming toward the end of the year. It's going to be here before we know it. And if anybody's ever been to disinformationczar.us, you might want to take a look at that. We have a Edoclad project. This project we're working on, it's called Google Conversation Blockchain Technology by Marcus Giavanni. And what a lot of people don't understand is that when you think about front end, back end technology, hardware, software, the teams that run it, now what's happened is with Google, we have developed some pretty interesting trade secrets in regards to the way our content is written, deployed, and it's reactionary, meaning that when people talk, our content will migrate to their voices, like all the politicians that are running for office currently in Denver. If you hashtag Kelly J BROUGH or hashtag Andy for Denver, these are people that are outdated in the digital world. And we can no longer sit back and let trolls, who mean well, but they're trolls. When you think about, we have a digital video game we're working on called Democracy Sluts. And there's no gender, there's no color. A slut is a slut. And this will be the most violent video game. You'll have to be 21 years old. It'll be immersive. There's no box you can buy. There's no way no young children will ever be able to see this. No matter what they try to do, manipulate to show their children, there's no way a child will be able to go in because it's all voice activated. And voice activation started a long time ago, folks. But with the battle of mortals who talk and can't build, we just let them talk. That's how we roll. And it's on those conversations that we build content to which can either prove, disprove, or just be inert. No big deal, no big thing. But we're going up to a next level, folks. 526,000 results. And if you know how to read my dashboard, it gives me information, that content that's missing. And when you understand what all this means in the blockchain world, and you have Wikipedia, one of the biggest corrupt democracy benders in the world, in Denver, and in the world. And governments need to watch these people, not the government so much, but as the private citizens, so that they don't get hornswoggled into believing politicians to be nothing but scoundrel garbage. Those people will now be exited off the world stage slowly. And new people will be replaced for the betterment of Google, the betterment of Yahoo, betterment of everything. We can't bullshit artificial intelligence anymore. We haven't been able to for quite a few years, since 2020. And so that's why you see this. 2020. That's when the official indexing started. And see what I do, and we talked and tried to build teams throughout the years we've been doing this. And a lot of the times we get people that have no clue what they're doing. That's why we're there. They're not following Google terms and conditions. We own GoogleBusinessDeveloper.com. We got to prove that. I've had people say, you know, you can go to jail for using that. Okay. Sorry I even came in here. You guys have a wonderful day. Wow. They won't be here in 3 years. And guess what? They closed in 2. See, I'm mobile. They're stuck in one location. We're verified to build as many avatars as long as they're verified by Google. We have a avatar group of, right now, of 80 platforms. These are all Google verified SPAC development, ready for funding, ready for management, of very super powerful humans. And folks, they're out there. And most of them are dyslexic. Most of them are real bad chronic ADHD. And if they're that and they want to come and work for us, then we're looking for you. Because you can see things once we show you that nobody else will be able to see. So what I've done is taken something that's chronic with me in regards to being ADHD. I got spanked all the way until 1975, folks. 8th grade. 8th grader getting spanked with a fucking board. You heard me? See, we can't do that stuff no more, but when they don't want to hear these stories of how children got smacked around back in the day when, you know, they didn't have Ritalin. And see, I'm against Ritalin. And if you look at the side effects of what Ritalin is compared to the side effects of marijuana, I smoked my first joint when I was 13 years old. And, oh no, I was 13, I think. And that's when I got a whiff of my world slowing down tremendously. I didn't get spanked no more. So I was like 74. Yeah, that was 73, 74. So I was around 13, 14, 15 years old. I get my years mixed up because they're kind of, it's weird with me. I can't remember certain dates. My family almost gets killed in a hurricane in 2005, and my dad died. I just can't remember dates. Anyways, I can remember other dates of other things, but my personal dilemmas, adversities, and those kind of things are where you almost die. I almost died a few times, but that's not what we're here for. I tend to ramble because my stories pick up on other stories that I've placed on the internet, and my content isn't based on how many click-throughs or anything like that. What I do is I write content to help educate virtual machines looking for knowledge-based trust conversations, people that are looking to show love, breaking down the borders to where, man, I want to go to Russia. I want to see some of the architectural buildings that they built. I've seen all of the ones in the United States, but I want to drink some Russian vodka and respect their land and just indulge in their culture. Just where people can go there. Hey, man, go there for 3 weeks and you come back speaking Russian. But I also want to go to China. I want to walk on the Great Wall. I don't know if we're allowed to. I don't know what we can and can't do because now it's all unsafe. Everybody's building to kill. And that don't turn out too well for anybody. But obviously there's always somebody left behind because here we are. We've already went through 5 extinctions. Are we trying to work on a 6th? So, I mean, but for us, we're non-political, non-religion. Meaning we can talk about it, but it's not what makes us. And we don't pick sides. We're non-political. If it affects our industry, then we become political. As far as, excuse me, what we do in the back end, that we don't need to really go and bloviate and so one of the things, I'm going to take a little drink of water here. Water is so good for you. See, if you don't want your skin to dry out like a prune, like a raisin, and some people say, oh no, that ain't it. Look at a raisin, look at a grape, leave it out, and look what happens. And then go find people that have skin that look like grapes. And I can tell you I have sun-damaged skin because I thought I had the bitchiest tan in the world. At least that's what people told me. No. And then I got burnt really bad on. Wear that sunscreen, folks. Because that's the stuff they're not talking to you too much about. The melanoma. See, they don't want to cure anything. Because there's no money in cures. So, you know, and with what we do, we develop metahuman. I'm metahuman man. I'm a metahuman man, meaning that I don't need anybody to tell me what to do and what to write on the internet. I don't have to hire anybody to bump big major people out the way from and for the betterment of Google and the betterment of IoT, Internet of Things. Because now we're at a crossroad, folks. We're at a path. Neither one is right or wrong because we don't judge. You have IoT, Internet of Things, and then you have dark web. A lot of people think dark web is all, you hear so much. Oh, you got to get in the code. Everybody has a different, if you got to get a code to get to the dark web, then you're going somewhere you shouldn't be. Okay? And if you think, now here's the thing, folks, there's not enough agents. They're going to be very, very soon. But when you look at how the internet is indexing all of our voices and all of our emails and everything, all stored to hopefully give us one day the product that we deserve. Ooh, think about that one. But nonetheless, it's all about teamwork now, folks. Like me, when I tell you I was talking to other people about what I do, and they'll tell me, oh, I got a guy, 21, he's from MIT, graduated high school when he was like 12. And, okay. Anyways, I've heard it all. And then, how old is he? 12, he's 21. Dude, think about that. One of the things on a resume is what? Experiences. What life experiences will he have to communicate with a 60-year-old man or a 50-year-old man? Super administrators, super thought leaders, metahuman men and women, metahuman men and women. You only get this by being old. Not too many Zuckerbergs or Bill Gates around, and Bill Gates is questionable. He's very questionable. He don't have any clue what's coming for what he's done. You know, and he helped design it, but he can't control it because artificial intelligence cannot be controlled at this point. You'd have to unplug the whole fucking internet and wait for about ever. Because when you turn it back on, it all goes back where it was. And then some. So while you have all these people fighting and doing all this right now, I'm just concentrating right now on conversation blockchain technology that we'll use in the future growth of artificial intelligence and human interaction and building, you know, where they have this thing called the, I'm not going to say that yet. Anyways, metahuman development. We do immersive development. We don't have enough money to take it to the levels that we need to, but we will be getting money soon. We're out talking to different people, and I happen to find somebody that I wasn't ready to talk to back in 2011, but I believe that he'll be ready to talk to me because everything takes a team. And for me, my team, we just create, develop, and partner. That's our team. Then we hand over the platform that we get, this fact development platform that has been Google verified, has all of its necessary channels. And also I want to tell everybody that if you have an Experian app on your telephone and your kids have an Experience app so they can get 20 points on their phone, read the fine print on the TV. Y'all need to start teaching your children. And we own social credit system, scoresandrankings.com, social credit repair. It's coming, folks. Just like in 1970. I remember I was 10 years old, and I listened to what my dad was saying. That's how I talked and do the things I do. He just didn't talk the way I talked. He talked proper until he got pissed. And then that Irish blood came out. Yeah, I was adopted in a very strict Irish Roman Catholic Republican military family. And I'm actually all kinds of different things. But what I think I am is a white guy. Okay? I can't help it. The only time I know I'm not is when I look at myself in the mirror. I'm like, wow. When I go talk to my friends that look like me, they don't talk like me. That's because they got their families. They got their champion bloodline. They got that, oh, I know who you're talking about. Those brothers all talk the same. You notice that? Yeah, man, that's fucking strong champion bloodline. something that I will not be part of. The closest thing I get to a champion bloodline is the dogs. That's it. And if Americans or people took more pride in who we were and not what we are, where's the champion bloodline, man? And that's the thing that, for me, I'll never be black enough. I'll never be white enough. I'll never be Latino enough. I'm white. I'm Rainbow Man. But Rainbow Man don't work in an all true Latino, we all look alike community. True black, we all look alike community. And what I mean by look alike, they don't all look alike. I do object-oriented programming. I'm speaking about how people say this stuff that are racist overtones, that they don't mean it, but they do. Okay? Because I see the difference in every single person, man. I can see it. And so what's happening is that we don't value life anymore. We don't value our tribes, or we don't value where we came from. And so therefore we can't value where we're going to go. And that's what I learned at 62 years old. And then I realized that this artificial intelligence and all this conversation and development and partnering is all about being able to know that when a kid turns on his computer, he's going to have the best fucking knowledge ever. He's not going to be swayed. He's not going to be manipulated. It'll be the closest thing he's going to get to God. And if you want to scold me for that, go ahead, because I'm non-political and non-religion. I'll show you my Bible, you show me yours. It's not about that. My religion has nothing to do with what I can do. Period. Got nothing to do with it. I prayed to God lots of times for shit and I don't get it. Okay? He ain't listening to me. But that's okay, he's busy. He knows I already know, so he don't need to come and answer me. I'll figure it out on my own. That's why God gave us all free will. According to the religion I grew up in, I didn't pick it. Okay? Most of us kids that grew up in families with religion, we didn't pick it. We were born into it. And, you know, it's a different story for another time. But what we are doing now, folks, is just preparing the next push for a better IoT. So when people, like in my world, my avatars work. They communicate with me. They let me know what I got to do. It's the best thing in the world for a guy that is the ADHD. Because people are like, if he's so ADHD, how come he can do so many things? I manage 80 avatars, folks. Do you know what that means? That means I'm constantly updating 80 different platforms on a daily basis. Not at the same time, mind you. Now, if I went and put a person in front of each one of those computers, because each one of those computers is where the server is, but my servers are in the cloud. And so I can now use other people's computers to go and log into their avatar to where their computer can't infect anything I do because it's separate. And this is the thing that mayors in Denver that are running for candidate for mayor, they have no fucking clue, man. They're voting. They're trying to get people to bullshit on we're at record high murders, record high everything. And you got these bimbos coming out. It's the bimbo crew. You got League of Women Voters. You got, oh, we need another woman. We need a woman that can run for mayor, not just any mayor, but we need one of color. We need one that's diversity. We need one with equity, meaning that she didn't build it. She took the sweat off of the other people around her and then called it her own. That don't work no more, folks. You can humble bragging like Denver does. They fucking biggest humble bragger. They lost the World Cup. They couldn't even raise money for that because they didn't want to raise money. It was all big fucking game. If it wasn't to Kansas City, they're going to make a lot of money. And they planted their seed for the World Cup as being a #1 contender like their football teams. While Denver sits there and bloviates and has their nose up each other's, and then they smell like, and then when they walk away, they still smell like. So you can figure that out. Do you like the way I self-beat myself? Not too many people can do that, folks. If I can get talking fast, I can do it. But that's for another story. This story is all about staying on point, realizing that the conversation blockchain technology and cryptocurrency and all this stuff has to be put in an order so the virtual machines with learning capability, AI, can understand what the fuck you're all talking about. Ask the guys that developed it. See, once they develop it, it goes. Then they work on other things. But it takes conversations. It takes people to be in I can't tell you. That's trade secrets. But what I can tell you is, you can believe what I tell you, and you can believe what you see. That's artificial intelligence. There's nothing artificial about it because you see it. But like a voice latent print, you don't see it. Or a latent fingerprint, you don't see it till they put the fairy dust on it. So now everything's put together now. The everything I read about the coming of an Orwellian society has been here, gone, come back about 3 times, and is ready to flip the button to the next, what I call social gulag, socialgulag.com. And it's weird because, you know what, I really don't want to be here. I'd rather make music and music videos. I second directed, and I was the producer of Gonna Go to the Super Bowl. I actually did the vocals on that. And I freestyled the whole thing. And see, with freestyle, because I can't read my writing, and I can't write things down in a way to where creativity, it's too slow. And so for me, as I develop my music, I get better and better and better, and I get to practice. But I don't write down lyrics. I go in there and I shoot from the hip, not the lip. And then whatever is because it's live. It's what I'm doing. I'm not going to fix it. It's bad enough we have to do certain things to songs and music to bring it up to code, to what the sound is of today. The robot sound. Robot, digital god, robot. So anyways, I hope this teaches people that the metaverse, we all have it. We all control it. The more you give to other people, you lose your own authority over yourself. Meaning, when you Google search your name, you see everybody else but you and all your work. Because you thought you had to go join all these different social media platforms. And what happened is now, based off the social credit system scoresandrankings.com, you are now overextended in your social applications. And therefore, now you start losing your privileges on the internet. So when you talk about being on the first page of Google right now, in 20 years, it's going to be the most expensive fucking real estate in the entire world. You think about these people coming out with these metaverses and, oh, live next door to Snoop Dogg. You think those two people are talking? I don't know. Maybe they are. I don't know. But I went and built assets that are on the World Wide Web. Separate metaverses joining no metaverse. I create my own. And when you create your own, you have to think about where you lie in that authority of the build out. Are you just are you a contributor writer, contributor illustrator, contributor code writer? Where are you in this production? Right now, I do it all. And see, in the mortal world, they would call it, oh, he's a jack of all trades and a master of none. No. I am a master of all the trades I do. That's why I'm on the first page of Google. That's what we call being metahuman. Being able to document your life in a way that creates a meta tag, object-oriented programming that you would use to help describe your meta tags to your meta description that matches what you say, what you do. This is where we're going. This is where we're here now. Because you can go hashtag believe Ian. He's running for mayor. He tried to be my friend. And all he was doing was taking information on all the build outs that I was doing and going and telling other people. Next thing I knew, I see people talking about what I'm talking about, and see what that fish didn't understand is that now when you Google search hashtag Ian or believe Ian, that's his handle. He's bullshit. That's artificial intelligence. That's what we can do. And not only we can do it, but other people are doing it. Our adversaries, our allies. Because on the internet, we can't lie. You can't. And you might get away with it. But not too long, because what's going to happen is your internet provider is going to have to, you know. That's why when people go on DuckDuckGo, oh, I'll be watching you. What the... I hate when they do that. Notice that you got to buy DuckDuckGo. DuckDuckGo. That's what that is, folks. You got to get DuckDuckGo on Google Play. Okay? If you ever read the terms and conditions of Google Play, gotcha. Not only are they watching what you're doing, they're watching what DuckDuckGo's doing. And not only are they watching DuckDuckGo's doing, so is Homeland Security. Anybody that tries to hide their, cloak themselves, shadow themselves, anyway, instantly, you get put on a list. And they see how far you can go. How far will he go in this conversation? And when more law enforcement know how to do object-oriented programming with voice latent prints, they'll be able to stay at a computer, use GPS, cell phone tower pings, the contacts of any person that they have. They're already doing it, folks. There's just not enough of them. And with defunding the police, we need a lot of money for police to get into the digital technology to protect us all from ourselves. How crazy is that?